Welcome, everyone. This is Austin. This is Flashpoint Friday, and your turnaround story does indeed start right here. I want to welcome you in to our brand new time. We have a brand new time slot, and here's some other great news. We now have a full hour to capture these special guests and the gold that they share from their heart and soul. And today will be no different. It will just be an incredibly expanded version of a man who has an incredible heart. I'm going to get into the details on that. But first, I want to set the show up and I want to welcome you in. I want you to check in with yourself here on this November 5th. Seasons are changing. Things are unfolding, and I trust they are for you. And as you step into this space with us today, whether you're here for a few seconds or for the full hour, there's two things. You might be here to get something, and you might be here to give something. So feel free to chat as much as you can. If we stoke you, provoke you, evoke you, type something in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. So this is Flashpoint. Your turnaround story starts here. My name's Austin J. Haynes, and we're going to set the show up. First thing we do is we step into the present moment. We have the hourglass as a reminder that right now is all we have, that what has happened is gone. As much as we want to go back, it's gone, it's past. We can learn from the past, but we can't live there. Fair? We can't go too far to worry about the future. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. We want to have our visions, our plans, our big goals, but if we live there and we worry about it, that's not good either. The only place we can truly be is right in this moment. And if you've ever tried to get ahead of the moment, you know what happens when you get ahead of the moment, right? Usually you make a mistake. So dial in to this moment with us and be sure and get something. We also have the Thomas Edison light bulb here as a reminder that no matter how many times we've tried and we think, oh my gosh, I'm off, I don't have it right, I've been messing up. This light bulb serves as a constant reminder of 10,000 attempts, 10,000 ways that the light bulb couldn't be invented, but lo and behold, the final ingredients, the final construct was finally landed on. And this iteration of the light bulb was in effect for over 100 years. That's the power of an invention. That's the power when we stay with it. And then we actually have the cowbell here to highlight great moments throughout the show. So I want to welcome you in, and I want to prepare you for our very own Wellness Ambassador, Dr. George Grant. I'm going to bring him on in a moment. Many of you have been following this journey. You know I've had Dr. Grant on many times. We hosted a wellness call together. We had over 188 people register for one of these calls. We know that people want this information. Why is Dr. Grant so special? Well, he's got 40 years of experience in the wellness space. He's a specialist in integrative medicine, nutrition, pain management, pharmacology, toxicology, biofeedback, and natural medicine. He has immersed himself for a period. It wasn't just like you got your toe in the water, right? I've been on and off. This is somebody who's immersed themselves for 40 years in their space, and we're going to hear his story. One of the axioms he lives by: tell me I forget. Show me I remember. Involve me, I understand. Inspire me, and I learn for life. And you're going to get a flavor of that today. And if you were there this morning, I said we're getting a double dose today. So this morning was the first dose on our gratitude show, but now today we have a full hour to dive right in. Dr. Grant has earned 3 doctorate degrees, and he's basically served as a senior consultant for Health Canada, the FDA, and the CDC. And just an incredible background. 21 co-authored books, 250 published papers. But here's what I really love. The man, he's got a heart of gold, and all the accolades are great. But what he really wants to do, he wants you to live healthier to 111. Help me welcome our ambassador of wellness, my friend, Dr. George Grant. Dr. Grant.
Hi, Austin.
Welcome. We have a good amount of time together. You're one of those people where it's so difficult to capture what you've done. And no matter what introduction that someone gives you, it's only the tip of the iceberg. You know,
Nice.
I can imagine the thousands of people that you've worked with, over 20,000. You've worked with Olympic athletes. You know, you worked in biofeedback when the machines were, right? How big were the machines when you first started in biofeedback? They were huge, right?
Huge, yes, and very expensive.
And very expensive. So I can only imagine what you invested to get, but that's how passionate you are. So here's what I want to do today. Well, we talked about this. I want people to hear your story again because it's important. We're going to talk about this changing of the seasons right now. There's a lot of things, right? People tend to get, let's just call it what it is. They tend to get sick around this time, unwell, if you will. And then we're going to talk about anti-aging because you are speaking at a little conference here coming up that might be going on today, actually. I think it started today.
Yes.
A little conference that we'll tease you on that too. So welcome in, Dr. Grant. We're going to say hello to everyone here. Marlon's with us. Mandy's with us. And we will repeat that axiom. And Dr. Grant will probably, Dr. Grant, Mandy's asking about that axiom. Do you want to say it?
Sure. Tell me, I forget. Show me, I remember. Involve me, I understand. But if you inspire me, I learn for life.
We'll get that quote. We'll share it out in our community. But Dr. Grant, I'm honored to have you again here. Is there anything on top of mind before we get into your story? Do you have anything like kind of on the top of your mind that you thought you want to share?
It's always great to be with you, Austin, here. And yes, we did enjoy our wellness calls every 2 weeks. We're going to be resuming them in early December, in less than 3 weeks from now. So we're going to be resuming that. People asking me, where's this conference called? When is it going to start again? Okay, so I'm going to make an announcement today. Austin and I are going to be resuming our call on the first week of December to celebrate winter. Okay, and if you live in the north here and close to New Jersey or Philadelphia or Toronto or New York, then in the winter time we need some kind of help here to survive those 3-4 months of cold weather. So yes, I like the quote that you mentioned about the past history, and I always tell my clients, the past is history, future is mystery. Today is the present. You got to live in the present, live in the moment, because you cannot change the past, you cannot change the future, but today is the present right there. You got to live in the moment here, which is great. I love this quote as well. So my story is very simple, Austin. I lost my mom when I was 18 years young. My goodness, that's almost like 55 years ago. Okay. Yes, I'm 70 now. Okay. I look younger. Thanks very much for those of you who say that. If you don't think I'm younger, check your eyes, go to your annual eye exam, because I have an energy of somebody in their 50s. Yeah, seriously, when I lost my mom at age 18, my sister and I, she was 10 years younger than me, we became orphans. No mom, no Mother's Day, no mom's love, for life, basically. Because yes, we had a stepmom. 2 years later, my father remarried again a couple of years later, but stepmom is never the same like mom. Then I lost my dad again 10 years later. I never see my grandparents. They all died from diabetes, obesity, heart disease, and high blood pressure. So I committed my life since 18 years young to study how to prevent those diseases, how we can stop them naturally, not with medications, not with operations, because it did not work for my mom and dad. It just did not work. So that's when I started to study natural medicine, eclectic medicine, integrative medicine, functional medicine, lifestyle medicine, nutrition, as Austin was saying, toxicology, pharmacology, food science, and nutrition, and all of the stuff. Not to get some more degrees and hang it on the wall, but it was a passion for me to find out the secrets, how to reverse disease naturally and how to live longer despite your bad genes. So if you do have some bad genes like me from parents and grandparents, listen closely. It is not the genes that determine your destination, because there's a science called genetics, of course, studying genes and chromosomes and telomeres and all of the stuff. But there's another science called epigenetics, how you can turn your good genes on and turn your bad genes off. And that is what I'm going to be talking to, tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock at the WOM conference. Actually, Austin is going to be with me to introduce me there, and it's going to be lots of fun. And we're going to be talking about anti-aging, secrets of anti-aging, life starts at 40. So if you're actually 45, you're only 5 years young right now, still crawling. Some of you still in diaper.
Receive
So,
that. Somebody need to hear that.
exactly. So if you're 70 like me, then you're only 30 years young. So you know what? It's not the chronological age, it's the biological age. How well you feel from inside. How well is your cells? Are your cells are healthy? And it is what you eat. It is what you do not eat. It is what's eating you for stress, because stress causes 85% of all diseases. It is also what you think. Your attitude. This morning at 8 a.m. we started this call with Austin, and we had lots of you like Mandy and everybody else talking about attitude of gratitude. That's what I start in the morning, every morning. I never looked back at my story being resentful. Why this surgeon did not save my mom's life? Well, you know what? It happened. It's the past. I don't have to focus on the past. I have to focus on the future. So I'm thinking now, if I lived till age 80, I'll be the first one in probably 10, 20 generations to actually live beyond 70. But if I did reach 101, as in my first title of the book, How to Live Healthy to 101, I don't think anybody in my 100 generations ever reached a centurion. Austin and I written a book called How to Live Healthy to 111. Nobody else has ever achieved that yet. If they ever achieve that, then our upcoming book is going to be How to Live Healthy to 121, right, Austin?
121. That's right. Why not? Because you just said, I wanted to grab this, what you just said. And this, you'll understand this, but you just said there's people that could be walking around at age 35,
yeah,
but have a biological age of 50 or 60, correct?
Yes, 100%.
And there's people that are walking around that are 50 or 60 that could have a biological age 20 years younger. Is that right, Dr. Grant?
100% correct. Out of 25,000 patients in the past 40 years, I've seen exactly what Austin described. I've seen young men at age 35 to 45. Their health is not very good and they have pot belly, and then they take in Viagra and Cialis, and they try to keep their Willie happy, but Willie is not happy, yet they're young. So they go and try something that will cause them heart attack. And I told one guy, do you know side effect? He said, yeah, doc, but at least I can die happy. Now, if you actually take Viagra and have a heart attack during intercourse, that is not a happy death for you and your spouse. Absolutely not. And if you do have if you suffer from priapism, which consistent erection that lasts for 4 or 5 hours, can you imagine going to emergency
Oh
with
my
really
goodness.
rising up? And then they have to do a surgery. You have to actually cut to drain the blood from this stuck. Like, you
Oh my goodness. That's not a great.
That's not a good. That's not
image.
happy life. In fact, if you have any worry about any prostate problem, any erection problem, go to academyofwellness.com and check my patented, published natural supplements to reduce and shrink the prostate and also to enhance your erection. And it's all based on natural remedies. It's published, it's proven, it's patented. Amazing discovery. I published this and I patented that. So anyway, there is no need to opt for other stuff that cause side effect. So we always,
we have their attention. We have their attention. And I just want to say that, Dr. Grant, you established the Academy Wealth in 1982. So that
Yes.
gives you some perspective of
Yes.
how long you've been doing this.
Yes.
So I know, go ahead. You're talking about erections. The guys are like, what?
It's important. Like some things men do not even understand is that if they're missing few minerals like zinc, they're not going to have sustained erection, because you heard my song before, my poem. I don't want to take Mandy's Robinson job here to do poems, but I invented this poem here for zinc. It's called Zinc for Dink, Zinc to Think, Zinc not to stink, Zinc to shrink, Zinc to blink. What do you think? So most men have deficiency of zinc. That's why I don't get sustained erection. So my supplement have not only zinc in it, but it has tribulus, it has horny goat wheat, it has maca. It's not the herbs the 12 herbs that it has. It's the delivery system through the patented process to go to the prostate and in 30 seconds. Anyway, the point is this. If you have any problem, we can reverse it naturally. So our motto is this. We care, we serve, we educate. We do not medicate, we do not operate, we do not vaccinate, we do not amputate, we do not irradiate, and we do not irritate. So this is our motto. We follow a natural path to get you. And within 3 months, Austin knows this, most clients do not need any blood pressure medications, diabetes medication, pain medications, depression medications, all of this stuff. Talking about depression, this is a season when we get people to be sad. They develop SAD. SAD stands for seasonal affective disorder because there's not enough sunshine around during this time of the year. So whenever you have like today in Toronto, it's sunny, it's beautiful. I went out for my half an hour walk. I get some vitamin D. So whenever you live, when you have sunshine outside, doesn't matter where you live, just get out and get some vitamin D there, or take some vitamin D supplements up to 10,000 IU. 10,000. Do not listen to your physician who tell you to take only 1,000. No, take 10,000. That's what I take. That's what I recommend for my clients. Okay. Now, if we can teach you a way to live longer and healthier here, it's really a simple technique. There's no rocket science here. Simple stuff. You got to drink plenty of water every day. Austin and I do this. Okay. At least half your body ounce in water every single day. Okay. Add to your water, half a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, lemon, turmeric, and ginger, and cinnamon. This will detox your liver, detox your gallbladder, make you hydrated. And then eat only 1 or 2 meals per day, not 3 meals and 3 snacks. They used to teach us eat breakfast like a king or a queen, lunch like a prince or princess, and supper like a pauper. That was 20 years ago. That's when I was doing my graduate school there. Now I go through intermittent fasting. Right now I only do 2 meals per day. 7 a.m. healthy breakfast, and then 7 p.m. healthy dinner. I skip lunch. Simple things, and I cut back on simple carbohydrate. I cut back as much as I'm humanly able to cut back on simple carbs. Not just the sugar, but also the bread, the rice, and all of the other stuff. So if you can follow that and then eat a moderate amount of protein and healthy fat. If you're doing keto, do not eat the bad fat, eat the healthy fat. And I did introduce Austin to something called Japanese sweet potato, the purple sweet potato. He's now becoming a sweet potato addict. He had like 2 or 3 a day, and that actually keeps your blood sugar normal. It'll help with the weight. It will actually help you to get phytonutrients. Do not eat white potato, eat sweet potato. Bake it, say 375 to about 45, 50 minutes. Cut it and put cinnamon inside. If you try this for somebody who have diabetes, this will help him to wean himself off insulin and metformin. By the way, metformin has been now warned by FDA that it can cause cancer. So if you know somebody who've taken metformin, just educate them. Tell them, which one do you want to have? Do you want to have diabetes or cancer or both? So that's what we educate the clients. And that is
Dr. Grant, I wanted to take a moment here because I want to just tell everyone you're going to be speaking tomorrow night at the WOM conference.
Yes.
And who knows how many people they have registered for this global event. And you're speaking tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I just want to share the link. Hopefully it gets pushed out, but you can still buy tickets. But this is a full out immersive experience with some of the top wellness people in the world. And Dr. Grant's one of the presenters for this conference. So I'm going to share that link as well. I have the presenters here so people can take advantage of this. I'll share it here. It's going to go out on YouTube. I'll share it on Facebook. But because what you're sharing here it's life-changing information on someone's wellness journey. And it's not like we're testing anymore. When people follow the protocols that you talk about, they can get off of blood pressure meds, right?
Yes, 100%.
They can turn diabetes around. And I can only, maybe that's what we should do one day is we should come up with a list of all the conditions that you helped turn around and put it into some kind of a manifesto. I mean, because I know you have one right here.
This is one story I'd like to share with you and your audience in case if they never see me talking about this before. This goes back to 1998. It's a client, a hospital called Sunnybrook in Toronto here. And one of my co-authors, I do not work with Sunnybrook. I'm not a cardiologist. I'm not a physician. I'm a natural IMD, which is integrative medical doctor, but I'm not a cardiologist. So at the cardiology intensive care unit at Sunnybrook, they have a man who had 99% clogged arteries here, 90 here, 80 here. On the other side, he had also 90 here. And then he was taking 28 prescription medications. He done 2 bypass. He's done 2 stents, and he was 79. And they could not add any more meds. They could not add any more bypass or any more stents. At 79, they sent him to hospice to basically told him 3 months, you're going to kick the bucket. This is 1998 here, 27 of May, 1998. And then one of my co-authors said, can you do something here? I said, what can I do here beside what they've done? I'm not a magician, but he said, just go and talk to him about his food. Guess what happened, Austin, when I asked him, what do you eat? He said, nothing, doc, just bacon and eggs. I said, bacon and eggs once a week? He said, no, every day. I said, every day eat bacon and eggs and you have 99% clogged arteries. 6 strips, Austin, 6 strips of bacon and 3 eggs fried in the bacon fat every day. I said, how long have you been doing this? He said, 27 years. I said, okay, sir, here's your prescription. Stop eating bacon and eggs. Eat porridge, eat oatmeal, eat sweet potato. He said, no, I don't like these. I took my lab coat off and I said, okay, sir, if you're not willing to change your diet, at least change your water. How much water do you drink? He said, I don't like water. I drink diet soda. I asked him, how can you drink diet soda when you have diabetes? He said, the doctor told me it's safe. Anyway, I'm not going to get into what's safe for diabetics right now, but I said, you got to go to change from diet soda to water, and don't stop that. Don't ever, use that diet soda again.
No.
Finally, I convinced him to listen to me. And 9 months later, January 19, 1999, no meds, no bypass, no stents. He's now 80. He's still alive today at 101, Austin, and he does not like the smell of bacon. He does not eat any of the bad food that he was eating. He does not drink any diet soda. He drinks only water with lemon, apple cider vinegar. He's been almost converted to what we're talking about here. This is the transformation we're talking about here. And it's not one case in the past 40 years, Austin. We're talking about hundreds of cases from Toronto to British Columbia, to the Caribbean, to Europe, across USA and across Canada. I travel extensively, but it's all about prevention here, Austin. It's all about lifestyle. This is what affected my family history. All my family were overweight and obese. All my family taking medications and did the surgery. It did not work. It's not going to work for you if you have taken that. Focus on the wellness IQ. Austin can email you that wellness. He can give you, even put the link in the chat. You go to academyofwellness.com, click on the wellness IQ. It's free. 10 questions. By the way, Austin scores over 85%. He's an ultra marathon runner. And by the way, he has 6 packs. Anyway, so we're going to talk about this tomorrow evening. So if we follow Austin rules, do some belly breathing, drink lots of water, not soda, and then eat the right food at the right time, and then go through fasting. Maybe 1 day a week, you're going to go to water fasting. We call it autophagy, which is so important. So important. Autophagy is really important to control blood sugar, to control all of the diabetes and everything in your body.
I know your phone rings off the hook. See, that's the thing. Everybody always wants to talk to Dr. Grant, so his phone's ringing off the hook.
Yes.
I just shared the one of the links we use for the Wellness IQ.
Yes.
If you're somebody, you're like, I need to improve my health now, this is a great
it's a great way to start.
Yeah,
that's right. Yes, great way to start. 100%. Yes.
So people can enroll if you want to do that. I shared the link for the WOM conference. I also shared the presenter list so people can see who's presenting.
We have actually doctors from Canada, across Canada. We have doctors from the US, and we have one from England. And so it's a multi conference. Last year, Austin, it's called the Turning Point 2020. In past year, we had over 2 million people from 100 countries, and you can see my picture there.
2 million people from 100 countries
from 100 countries in one conference. And this year, I don't guarantee that we're going to have a million people, but at least we're going to have people who are interested in wellness and health. Because last year it was the middle of this pandemic that we're living in right now, and everybody was locked down and got nothing else to do but watch YouTube. And
right. Plus, they're focusing on the people who are unwell. I'll use the word unwell.
Yes. So getting back, Austin, to SAD, if you have seasonal affective disorder because the fall is upon us, do not focus on seasonal affective disorder SAD. Focus on SAD, which means standard American diet. If you eat sad, you become sad. If you go to fast food, you're gonna become sad. It's really important to go and look at the real SAD here: standard American diet, standard Canadian diet, standard Mexican diet. You gotta change from fast food to slow food. You're gonna start to change from fried food to air fryer. You just put your food in air fryer, fry it in air, not in oil. It's like some simple switch. Sweet potato instead of white potato. So simple things like this, 12-grain bread instead of white bread, quinoa instead of rice. Simple tweak and switch, it will have a profound impact.
You just described my journey, Dr. Grant, because I just made small changes over time.
Yes.
That's it. And it doesn't stop. I don't consider myself an authority in the wellness space, but my lifestyle speaks the small changes over time. And I'll tell you, I'll give you a little story here. Back when I worked in corporate America, we would do like corporate lunches. I'd go out with the guys for lunch or whatever, guys and gals for lunch. And I would order salads. Like I'd always that would be my first thing. I'm getting a salad. I'm getting a salad. I'm getting a salad. And I'm telling you, people would they would tease you, have fun. They'd make fun of it. And I thought, it's interesting the way our society's programmed, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's the same thing with alcohol. Like if you don't drink alcohol, you're like, oh, you're not drinking. There's some reason where people want to poke at it. They want to oh, you're not drinking. Oh, you're eating salads. Oh, you're eating rabbit food, right?
What's wrong with you?
Oh, you're eating this rabbit food. No, I eat healthy. I feel good, And I'll tell you what, Dr. Grant, you'll know this too. One of the best things I think you can do, well, it's up there, is pay attention to how you feel after you eat.
Yes.
Your energy just crash. You're constantly clearing your throat because you had too much dairy.
Yes.
Your body is constantly telling you.
Yes.
But people ignore it because we just accept the, as you said, sad standard American diet.
Yes, exactly, Austin, because when I tell people you've got to stop cow's milk and cheese, they look at me as if I'm man from Mars, right? They said, well, you should drink 3 glasses of milk to have a strong bone. So I tell them, actually, 3 glasses of cow's milk make your bone fragile because this milk is acidic and they add hormones and antibiotics to the milk. And all of the stuff, the bovine hormones in the milk, makes it very unfit for human consumption. And it produces mucus. They come to me, tell me, I had mucus. I'm on allergy medication for the mucus. I have acid reflux, and doctors give me 3 medications for acid reflux. They take Nexium, Pentaloc, and Pervocet. I said, instead of taking medication for acid reflux, just drink some little bit of water with apple cider vinegar and a touch of baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, to neutralize the acid. And then avoid the acid food, the food that causes you acidic. Like milk is acidic, by the way. Milk has a very acidic pH. But if you drink coconut milk, cashew milk, almond milk, any other nut milk is alkaline, it'll actually strengthen your bones. So it's simple stuff. This is all in the Wellness IQ that Austin posted on the chat. I would encourage you to do the 10 questions. And Austin, do you want to guess what is the average score out of 25,000 clients? What would be the average score out of 100?
So
Austin?
100 being best, I would say, if I had to guess, 60?
55. Exactly.
55.
That's
okay.
so close. 55. So they need some help. They need some help in what they eat and what they drink and what they think.
Yep. And I find myself saying I say that we don't irritate, we don't radiate. I find myself, I'm like, wait, that's Dr. Grant's statement. That's not mine. I'm saying you are what you eat, what you don't eat, and what's eating you. I mean,
exactly. So
these things stay with. I love the way you teach because they stay with you.
Yes.
And that's what's beautiful about it. All the acronyms and the things that you use. But we got a troublemaker. We got a troublemaker here, Dr. Grant. We got a troublemaker. It's Carrie. What can we tell her about the cheese?
Okay, Carrie. If you have some weakness for good cheese, if you substitute the good cheese like Romano cheese or the cheddar cheese or the cheese on the pizza with goat cheese, the white, soft goat cheese, I can guarantee you, Carrie, that you're not going to have any problem with mucus. You have no problem with butter fat because goat cheese is actually much leaner, and they do not mess with goats. It's a very small population. They don't inject them with hormones and antibiotics. So that would be the other alternative, Carrie. Try this, and then you're going to say, boy, I enjoy now feta cheese or goat cheese. You know what? It's simple. It's a very simple solution here. Just look at the alternative, Carrie.
And Carrie's actually in our inner circle, and she does. She's getting her wellness certification now. She does like goat cheese, but I know she speaks for a lot of people who like cheese, and they can't. And I want to say, you probably know Dr. Amen. You know Dr. Amen?
Yes.
The
Dr.
brain
Amen,
doctor. he says a lot of things that you say with the brain health. There's
Yes,
definitely.
yes, he's one of the top neurologists actually in the U.S. And by the way, if Carrie has addiction to cheese and milk, do not blame Carrie, because did you know what I found that milk and cheese have, Austin? It has a chemical compound called casomorphine,
Yes,
and
casein.
this, if you eat lots of cheese and if you drink lots of milk, you're gonna find yourself to have withdrawal symptoms when you stop the cheese and milk. So this is commonly known because the kappa casein produce casomorphine. It's actually morphine-like substance in the brain to make you addicted, almost like the addiction to sugar, addiction to nicotine in cigarettes, addiction to cocaine. But you see, it takes a little bit of withdrawal symptoms, and after this, if she switch back to goat cheese instead of the heavy cheddar cheese and all of the other aged cheeses, then she's gonna feel much better, and she's gonna no mucus, no pot belly, nothing, none of the stuff that. And by the way, I'm gonna tell something now very controversial, Austin. I hope your viewers and listeners do not throw any stones at
Okay,
me.
hold on. Before you do,
Yes.
this is our disclaimer. This is for informational
Yes.
purposes.
This is. Thank you for reminding me. I did work for Health Canada and the FDA and the CDC. None of the stuff I'm saying has been endorsed or approved by Health Canada, FDA, or CDC. This is my personal opinion only, and not for diagnosis or cure. So thank you, Austin, for reminding me. I always forget to take this disclaimer. But here's what I'm going to tell you, that you're going to have people like Carrie now going on this chat line to say, this doctor, I don't think he has 3 doctorates. Yes, check me out. My first doctorate from University of Toronto, 1995. What I'm going to tell you now is highly controversial, Austin, okay? Cow's milk and cheese causes osteopenia and causes osteoporosis because it makes your bone mush and fragile. And that is big, like, this is a big statement to say by somebody like scientists like myself with my caliber, like 250 papers published. I'm a senior editor of 20 journals. Okay, to say that publicly on a public platform here, I have to have backup and stuff to back up that statement. And I've seen this to so many clients who drinking 3 glasses of milk as a commercial, saying we're not against the U.S. Dairy Association or USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, or Agricultural Canada. We're not against them. They can recommend whatever they want to recommend to boost their sales. But all I can tell you is pasteurized milk and cheese can cause osteopenia and because they're acidic in nature and actually take bones out of your hips, and it causes osteopenia and osteoporosis. It causes fragile bones. But if you have nut milk instead, it will make your the bone matrix much stronger because they're alkaline in nature. So it makes your bone strong, especially if you take the vitamin D3, 10,000, and calcium and magnesium and boron. Most doctors do not talk about boron or strontium that makes your bone matrix very, very strong. And instead of being mush like that, and then you can fall down, you skid on ice, you go on your hip, it cracks, like, you know what I mean? And then now they cannot even put a rod to put you back together again because there's nothing can hold the rod. Your bone is mush. It's fragile. It's like Swiss cheese. Here it is, Gary. If you eat cheese, your bone's gonna be like Swiss cheese.
Yeah. No, so this is great content, and you can connect with Dr. Grant, the Academy of Wellness. I'll put that in here. Dr. Grant's also in our private community, and Dr. Grant, I want to encourage you to post there when you can, because if you have something you want to post there, please do, because I know you post a lot of great content on LinkedIn.
Well, I just want to share with the clients, Austin, because I've done the AO mobile scan for you. I've done it for Mandy. I've done it for Marlon. And I want to thank Marlon for referring lots of clients from Iowa to see me here. This device is done virtually on Zoom. This device is non-invasive, and it can detect and it can correct frequencies. So this scan is, I think, it's priceless, and we only charge 150 Canadian or about 100 US. So this is something that if you have not ever done it before, book an appointment virtually on Zoom with Austin or with me, and then we can go and then we can do the analysis. It takes about an hour, okay? And we do the voice. It's based on voice print, voice vitals, and comprehensive. If you are in the healthcare field, like Carrie here, talk to me about getting the device. I'm going to train you, certify you on it. And then I'm working with Marlon now to certify his son because he's in the fitness industry. And we're going to do this very, very soon. And I'm going to convince Austin one of those days to to become certified too, because he's going to be doing lots of walking from north to south, east to west, and then he's going to show people how healthy he's going to become doing this stuff. So yeah, AO mobile scan. You can go to academyofwellness.com, and then you're going to see videos there. You're going to see the link there, calendar link. You can book your appointment there. I'll be happy to help you. And if you mention Austin Haynes, you get 35% off. How's that sound?
That sounds great. That sounds great. I recommend it. I've done it. Dr. Grant has scanned me, and
Carrie was asking about what does oat milk, nut milk fit in this. Very healthy, very alkaline. Carrie, if you can just do the switch with nut milk at your taste, almond, coconut, oat, cashew milk, rice milk. They are alkaline, they support your healthy bones, and they give you all of the protein that you need. 100%. Highly recommended, Carrie.
Good job, Carrie. Now, what I want to do, Dr. Grant, because we have a full hour here.
Yes.
I want to just share what I feel about the mobile scan, and I'm going to ask Mandy to get ready to join us. She's our spokesperson. What a blessing I have. I have our wellness ambassador today. I have our spokesperson. I'm just going to disappear. I'm going to go out for a run and let you all do it. But Mandy's going to come back and just grab some of the highlights. And we'll do a little Q&A too, because we have about 20 minutes left in the show. And what I'm thinking about too is when somebody leaves this, I think I love when people take action. When they leave this call, they leave this interview, what are they going to do? What's the next thing you're going to put in your mouth? Are you going to grab some of that turmeric lemon, a little bit of baking soda? Are you going to maybe grab some green tea with no sugar? Are you going to go, maybe you're going to go buy Japanese sweet potatoes because we love them. Maybe you're going to maybe we can talk through that, ask some questions. You got some questions, and then Mandy's going to join us here in a minute. We're going to give her a chance to recap. I know she had a question too. So we're going to bring her on. But I just want to say while we're waiting for Mandy to join, I was amazed at the accuracy of the AO mobile scan. And not only was I amazed, people that I refer to do this process are amazed, absolutely amazed. And to the point where if you do the scan and you go to have a blood test, the blood test will be in alignment with the scan. In some cases, the scan is more accurate because your blood test, because when they draw the blood, there's a delay in time. Am I right here, Dr. Grant?
100% correct. Yeah. And not kept under dry ice. But this one is done through frequency voice print, real time through biomeridians, and through voice print. So it's 100%. We don't say 100% accurate. We say 95% accurate, of course, because I don't want to have any. But it does all of this tests for you in our segment, which is amazing. And by the way, it has something here, Austin, that is amazingly interesting in this time and age we live in. It has something to prevent you from COVID-19 and also mutation of the COVID-19. So if you happen to be with me on this test right here, we have something that we can do for COVID-19 virus and mutation. In fact, if you can see it here on the screen, COVID virus and COVID mutation right there. So we can send you the frequency to protect yourself against Delta variant and COVID virus, which is much more safer than any vaccine has ever invented with no side effect. This is through frequency.
So if you listen to this and you're like, what is this? The science is coming in. The science is coming in, and it continues to come in on the power of frequency in the medical field. And what we're talking about today is going to be mainstream, I believe.
Yes.
I don't know, it could be next 5 or 10 years. This is going to be mainstream conversation.
Yes. So, I think so, because I think your viewers, Austin, do not realize that allopathic medicine for pills and surgery has been only around for 180 years. But eclectic medicine, natural medicine, has been around for 6,500 years, since ancient Egypt, ancient Romans, the Greek Empire, the Indians, the Chinese, and all of those countries. By the way, they're 85% of the world population now. They practice only natural medicine, and only 25% practice allopathic medicine, which mostly in Europe, in USA and Canada, North America and Europe. but still people in the Eastern world, they still practice natural medicine.
Great. Well, Mandy, just give me a thumbs up. I'm going to add Mandy to our programming here. She's ready to go. All right, here we go. Hello, Mandy.
I can't see anything.
Oh, that's okay. We can hear you.
Okay.
We can see you.
Okay.
And we're at the quarter of the hour, 12:44. I know you were listening in the chat. You had a couple questions. Maybe you got a nice little summary for us, and we can also get some Q&A before we close out.
Okay, so yeah, I'll present the summary. So thanks for having me here. And of course, namaste, Dr. Grant. It is just an absolute pleasure having you here on the team.
Oops, we may have some connection. Is it windy up in Toronto?
No, it's actually sunny today, and it's a very beautiful day today. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's only 2 degrees Celsius, which is kind of on the cold side, but it's a beautiful day today.
Okay. We'll give it another shot, and hopefully that connection stays with us. We're trying this for the first time, everyone. We're growing. We're growing the show, so we appreciate your support. And Mandy, thank you again for being here.
Yeah, let's give this another shot. It's a real pleasure. So I love the fact right from the word go that Austin spoke about all your credentials, and it's too long to list here, but that you've got 40 years plus experience. You've been worked with biofeedback, you're a specialist, nutritionist, best-selling author, microbiology, 4-month global wellness ambassador and educator. You have an incredible heart and a love for wanting to help people from a natural-based, I'm just going to use the word pharmacy, but it's not. It's all natural-based.
Yes.
Austin talked about the various moments, the hourglass, the present moment, etc., etc. And then I got going on the special axiom: tell me and I forget, show me and I remember, involve me and I understand, inspire me and I learn for life. And that for me sticks out brilliantly for everything that you represent. You help us not to forget how we can change our lives and remember it. You can involve us in our own personal change or transformation in what you teach us. So you're actually inspiring us for.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So Mandy's connection is a little out there. So I'm going to give her one more shot here. There we go. One more shot, Mandy. And then.
Yeah. One more shot. Okay. So you're very passionate based on your family history, losing your parents and your sister and you being left as orphans, as it were. Well, you went to live with your grandparents, but lost them too to various diseases. So you set about on a journey of working into the natural way of helping people.
Yeah.
So you looked into epigenetics, so turning bad genes into good genes, which was awesome. And we're going to get a huge presentation on this at 7 p.m. tomorrow night at the WOAM conference. Can't wait to see that. Homing in on gratitude is absolutely prime. Have an attitude for gratitude, which is what Austin is doing with us now every day of the week, which is awesome. There's so much here. There's so much here. We care, we serve, we educate. We care, we serve, we educate. And you're teaching us how to not have to stand for pharmaceutical meds that are poisoning and toxic to the system, but so many natural ways, like purple sweet potato. I've been eating sweet potatoes for about 30 years. And I got it exactly how you said, and I taught myself that. It was amazing. What was really, cowbell moment. What was really impressive was this 79-year-old man in the study you did on all his blocked arteries and the stents he had to put in, etc. in January 1999. He's now still alive at 101. No meds, no bypass, no blood pressure meds, off all the artificial food, which is sad as opposed to seasonal affective disorder, standard American diet. So
exactly.
Total transformation. This is absolutely fascinating and incredible. And then we talked about optology. Is that the drinking of plenty of water? I don't know that word.
Autophagy.
Yeah, that's good. That because the body is what, 73% water? I would just forget
Yes.
that on that.
Yes.
And you question us on how to ask ourselves, how do we feel after we eat? What are we observing about our body? Because our body is teaching us all the time what we can eat, what we can't, because these are the effects that come out, right?
Yes.
You were really, really pointer on milk.
Oh, yeah.
I have a movie. It's called Forks and Knives, Dr. Grant. I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, I'm going to send it to you. It was given to me in a library, and it's just all about the potency of milk and how destructive it is to the body, and that we're the only species that drinks cow's milk.
Exactly.
And we shouldn't
Yes.
be drinking cow's milk, right?
Yes.
Because we need the alkaline as opposed to the acidity to
Yes.
build strong bones. So
Thank you.
people need the help on what they eat, how they think, and what they drink. And this is what you bring to the table. And this
Yes.
is incredible. And I love that you're also in connection on the same wavelength, excuse the pun, with Dr. Amen, the neurologist, right? Absolutely
Yes.
brilliant.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
So Mandy is doing a great job, but unfortunately her connection is
Yes.
kind of in and out. But Mandy,
That
we
was very
love you.
valuable comments, though extremely valuable comments. Austin, I have a question for you.
Sure.
If somebody does not drink half their body ounce in water, and instead they drink soda, coffee, and juices, how, I know you're not a doctor, but how does this habit alone affect them? And instead of drinking water, they go to coffee, soda, juice, and other other drinks. I'm not going to talk about alcohol because that's definitely harmful. But what, just switch from water to coffee, soda, and juice. What happened to their body?
Well, first of all, the caffeine's a diuretic, so that's actually
Yes.
pulling H2O
minerals
out
out.
of your body. And then you're talking about either doing sugary drinks, which will lead to diabetes because it'll spike
Exactly.
your insulin, and you have
Exactly.
insulin resistance. Or you switch to diet sodas, which have chemical concoctions that we really still don't have the results on, because they're always trying to create some kind of new sweetener that ends up being, usually, and if you look at the history, the alternative sweetener ends up being worse than the sugar. So people just go back to the sugar.
Exactly.
And they end up dumping so much sugar in their bodies, and they're not aware that, okay, at 25, 30, 35, your body may be able to handle that sugar dump.
Yes.
But all of a sudden you get 45, 50 and you're still doing it.
That's it.
And your body's like, I can't handle it anymore. And next thing you know,
Exactly.
disease shows up and you go, where'd that come from?
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's why, the common sense is not common. And that's why,
Exactly.
that's why you consistently repeat the same things. And you go, well, I've heard that before. Well, so have I. I need to hear it again.
Yes. Yes.
I need to hear it till it is in every cell and I live it. And I think that's the message that I get from these.
I think, Austin, you and I did a whole 1 hour on diabetes, and this recorded call is still on our website, academyofwellness.com. If some of your viewers and listeners worry about diabetes, I strongly recommend to go to academyofwellness.com. Under seminars. Austin and I, we did actually more than one show on diabetes and obesity with Diabesity.
We did.
It's all recorded there. And then we invited, my goodness, we invited the top kidney specialist from Canada and the UK. We invited some doctors from, my goodness, the top cardiologists from the US. And we got the top chiropractors in Canada and the US. We even invite Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, who's in the book. We got a book coming out.
Exactly.
You're like, gosh, we got someone, and I feel bad because we're giving up people all this information, but we have a book coming out. It's all based on the health turnaround story. I believe the cover is going to be done today. I hopefully have the book cover done so you can share it at the conference. But
yes, I'd love to include that in our talk tomorrow. Yes, 100%.
You're a blessing to everybody
Thank you, Austin.
You work with. You're passionate about it. And I, just a testament to what you said. You do have energy. Like you get up early, you're working. I know you take, I don't want people to think you're this obsessive person. You do take your time throughout the day. If I had to guess, you take a nap, you take a walk.
Yeah,
I put the right food in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you're there for people
when
they need you. And you're doing scans. You're doing the AO mobile scans for people. You're pointing them to your website to take the IQ test. By the way, the Wellness IQ test only takes a couple minutes. It's not like you go, oh, it's literally going to take you 5 minutes to go through it.
Yeah.
And when you're done, you're going to go, oh, it's going to make sense. And you're going to want to meet with Dr. Grant. That's the way it's designed. Like, it's not like, here's the Wellness IQ. Okay, good luck. No, it's you take the Wellness IQ. You're going to want to talk with Dr. Grant, book a call with him. So then you maybe can do the scan. And by the way, I thought about doing this, Dr. Grant. At some point, I was going to do a show on what supplements to take.
Yeah.
Because knowing we can't get the nutrients out of our food,
yes,
that we need to augment with the right supplements, not just run to the store and go, oh, I'm going to buy this from CVS, or we need to take the supplements that are responsibly produced and lead to high absorption and effectiveness.
Particularly vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc, and magnesium, and sulfur, and selenium. All of this information, by the way, is on the website, academyofwellness.com. You can find it there. All of our recorded call is there. And then if somebody did the Wellness IQ, if they email me the score, my email is very simple to remember, drgrant@academyofwellness.com. If you email me your score, I'm going to send you a copy of our book. My chapter on how to live healthy to 111. I've written with Austin here. So I'll email you this complimentary. And then if you decide to do a scan, you're going to get 30% off since you heard us on this show here. So if you're a healthcare practitioner, I strongly recommend that you get to know about this AO Mobile scan, get to know about the academyofwellness.com, get to know more about Austin, because he's one of the best, perfect example. How can somebody live healthy? Oh, by the way, I forgot to share with you a secret. Actually, Austin is very close to 65. He looks very good for 35. You know, he's amazingly healthy. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
That's a little too close to your age, but
Exactly. Laughter is the best medicine, Austin, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's a good one. I'm laughing inside. No, I'm kidding.
You still like me after this comment?
Yeah. We got a couple minutes left. So, Dr. Grant, I told you we're gonna continue to bring you on.
Okay.
We may even do like a segment where you have a segment. Mandy, you did a great job. I just want to honor you for coming on here. We had some connections, but you still we got a lot of great highlights. So to wrap up with this last 4 minutes, it's about you. It's about you, the viewer.
Yes.
This information's fantastic. It's the best information you're going to find in the world. No hyperbole. But what will you do? That's the only thing that really matters.
Yes.
So the first thing I want to ask you to do as a viewer is make that next decision a good one. Make that very next decision a good one. Put something healthy in your body. All right. Because that's where do you start? That's where you start. Okay. Yeah. And then number two, I want to invite you into our private community, which you can do that. Dr. Grant's taking advantage of that. Mandy will share that. That's the 9 questions. And then I'm going to turn it over to you, Dr. Grant, to see what action step would you like our listeners to take? What would you like them to do?
A, B, C, D, E. A, attitude of gratitude. B, belief. You got to believe that you can live healthy to 111 and beyond. It has to start from your mind. That tell your body that I'm going to live health. So everything starts from here, right? A, attitude of gratitude. B, for belief. C, for commitment. D, for determination, regardless of how many obstacles you're going to find. And then E, for enthusiasm. Like you have to wake up in the morning with this sense of gratitude and enthusiasm, start you with passion, whatever passion you have, because there's only one person, Austin, in the world out of 7.2 billion people, like every one of us, that was born with a special talent. You got to find that talent. You got to find that to bless the whole world. And this is important. And also remember, my secrets for long life and for health is the L's. Live, learn, laugh, let go, and leave a legacy.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I want to just encourage you to attend the conference that we shared, or simply take the Wellness IQ, which we also shared in the comments. Yes. It's 5 minutes. It could radically change your health and wellness journey. So you truly position yourself to live healthy to potentially 111. Who knows? right? So Dr. Grant, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to joining you tomorrow evening on the WOM conference. And what time will you be speaking again? One more time.
6:55 p.m. tomorrow Eastern. And I like Mandy when she quote, live, laugh, love, learn, and leave a legacy. Thank you, Mandy. She's actually our original poet and in the turning around. But I'm just so proud of her.
She's got a book coming out.
Yeah, we got a book coming out, and she's going to be my co-author, and I'll write the foreword for this book.
Well,
so any other healthcare practitioners, join us, please, on this book.
Yes.
Write the chapter on turnaround story, because this is how we're going to enhance the lives of those we touch. 100%.
Yes. God bless you. We love you. God bless you. Take the next best step in your wellness journey. Have a great Friday, everyone.